Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Wednesday weekly live stream where we talk music and marketing and voice and everything that the independent artist needs to survive and thrive. And I'm super excited to be with you here today. Today, I'm talking about the 5 secrets to better pitch, power, and precision in your singing voice. A world class voice is a great accomplishment. And there are many aspects that go into making a voice that performs on this high level at its peak performance. So, singing with great pitch and power and precision are some of the many aspects to why a singer sounds so good. Let's break it down and give you some ways to work on perfecting these aspects. And so I'm first going to, in just a moment, I'm going to detail the 5 and then the 5 tips I'm going to work on and then dive into them. A few quick announcements. So every Wednesday, I put out a blog, which is the subject of the live stream. So you can head on over to carriecole.com/blog to get the contents of today's live stream all laid out for you. So you can just listen and absorb and not have to take notes. You can also head on over to YouTube if you're not there with us now. And all of our past lives are under the lives page on YouTube. So you can watch all of our past live streams, some incredible information there for you. I wanted also just to let you know that we are doing a free masterclass. I only do these twice a year. This is my last one of the year. So I recommend you'll see the link in Instagram. You'll see the links everywhere, right? You'll see it on our website. You'll see it, everywhere. And it's in the YouTube. It's on wherever I'm live streaming, the link is below. And this is a second in a series where I'm going deeper into vocal mastery. It's on the 26th of September. If you're watching this after that date has passed, you'll most likely find it on YouTube. But you're really going to want to be there because there's some really important information and we're going to walk through some sequences live. So head on over to the masterclass, Building a World-Class Voice, and join us on the 26th and get the replay. And those that attend live will get the entire outline PDF for you to take with you of that masterclass. So here are our 5 secrets that I'm sharing with you today. One is hitting the bullseye. I'm going to talk about the bullseye in the center of pitch. Number 2, and why that's important. Number 2, how knowing your scales and intervals, ascending and descending, makes a huge difference in pitch because some of the mistakes that artists make are in the interval changes that are half steps versus whole steps. We'll talk about that. Secret 3, developing the proper support to sing with more sound, literally, and not be choking yourself and yell singing or straining, which is constricting the instrument, which is muting the instrument. And then secret 4, how to belt without strain, how to really do that. And secret number 5 is how to execute tone and smooth phrases with precision. So let's dive in and then we'll answer questions at the end. So collect your questions as you're listening. So hitting the bullseye in the center of pitch. Yes, please. Okay. So imagine a circle and there's a bullseye right in the center of that circle, right? So you could basically sing the note within anywhere on that circle, be maybe slightly on the sharp side without officially being outside of the circle and actually officially sharp, or the same with flat. You could be just on the shy side of the center of the bullseye, but not really be flat, right? Okay. Really great singers execute that bullseye center of pitch, right? And this is singing with great pitch is a hallmark of excellence in singing. You can get away with a lot, but you can't get away with pitch issues, right? So that's why there are singers like Bob Dylan or that don't have classic voices that sound great because they execute well on pitch. So that's a fundamental, and you're always working for that because singers, it's almost like you're playing the violin blind. First of all, the violin has no frets, so you have to really tune as you're playing. And singing is very much like that. You have to make quick adjustments. And you need to know if you're singing slightly flat or singing slightly sharp. You need to know where you are. And the best way to analyze that is to record and listen back and really start tuning your ears. And you can even get a Melodyne or some kind of pitch correction software that you can open up and you can actually see. You can look and you get a visual. For those that are more visual, you'll actually see, oh, I'm a little bit on the sharp side. Oh, I'm a little bit on the flat side. Oh, I thought I hit that note, but I really didn't. So that can be just an added tool. It's not necessary, but that's an added tool. But hitting the bullseye center of pitch is great pitch, right? And the great singers have it. You know, the Whitney Houstons, the Celine Dion's, the Mariah Carey's, unless they're not keeping up with their voices, right? But with their technique, because you have to work hard to keep up with your technique to really be able to execute on a very high level, right? And so we can hear when even master singers are slipping or sliding a bit in there. I can hear it right away. I hear it probably before you do, and then you hear it right after I do, most likely. So the things that interfere with good pitch on a technical level that can make you go flat, besides your ear, okay, that can make you go flat and sharp are improper placement, like pushing the sound too forward can cause an issue with sharp pitch where you're overblowing the note. You're pushing too much, right? However, sometimes pushing too much, but tightening here on a big note, and that's more R&B singers, which is interesting little side note. R&B singers or jazz singers tend to go sharp more, and rock singers or singers that sing with a lot more belt tend to go flat more, but not always the case, but in general, right? And so when you're straining too hard on a big note, you're over compressing and it's easy to go flat from the throat. And tension in the muscles surrounding the voice, the neck, the tongue, the jaw, the laryngeal muscles can cause flat or sharp pitch, right? When everything is constricted or tense. And a lot of singers don't know that they're tense. When they come and have a session with me, I do open it up occasionally for sessions live in New York, and I put my hand on your neck. Then I can point out exactly what's happening there. And we do the vocal massages inside the cold vocal technique that are developed specifically to release those deeper tensions. It's a set of massages you won't find anywhere else that are very specific to our technique. And weakness in the support muscles can cause flat or sharp pitch if you don't have enough breath underneath you, or weakness in the actual support muscles of the voice, in the pectorals, in the back. That can cause problems and interfere. And then lack of proper breath support can cause flat or sharp pitch for sure. Okay. Number two, the secret is know your scales and intervals ascending, moving upward, and descending. So if I have I don't know my piano on. If I'm singing a note, a scale, I can do it without a piano. So if I'm singing, so being able to do that a cappella and understanding the distance between the intervals is very important, because another issue that can cause problems with pitch, with executing really good pitch, is knowing your scales and the intervals within them, inside and outside, or what I refer to as forwards and backwards or up and down. And you can hold that scale a cappella or with the song, because a lot of people rely upon the instrumental track for really to execute pitch. And you need to know, okay, if that's in the key of A, I thought it was key of A. If that's in the key of A, the songs in the key of A, then those are the notes that you're singing. Occasionally you'll sing an accidental, but for the majority of songs, and that's more in jazz and other songs, more complex songs, but 99% of the time you're singing those exact notes. So in a major scale, you've got from the first note, from the A to the B is a whole step, and then a whole step, and then a half step, whole, half. So between the 3 and 4 is a half step, and between the 7 and 8 is a half step. Understanding that basically is very important, because you're going to make a lot of the mistakes where the half notes are, thinking their whole notes are further away. And it's not like you have to be in your head knowing all that, but you need to understand that to be able to really execute, because you've got major scales, minor scales, pentatonic scales, sometimes chromatic scales, and in different cultures, you've got quarter tones in Eastern cultures. So it's very important to understand your scales, and becoming a better singer involves developing strong ears and musical knowledge in order to replicate the scale and exact intervals you're singing. And I'm going to be bringing that piece into the technique. And we have a new program starting in October for those of you that have been doing the cold vocal method, or for those of you who really want to jump in. Level 1, you can buy level 1 and level 2 together, and you'll go through level 1 in the first 3 months and be in the class, because we're doing a whole year now of level 2 of the cold vocal method. And the prerequisite is the Vocal Freedom Circle, where you learn the first 4 parts, level 1 of the cold vocal method. In level 2, this is a year-long program. The curriculum is packed. It's going to be an extraordinary program. We've made it extremely affordable. Come to the masterclass and hear about it. And I think we open early registration on the 18th of September, and the program opens on the 16th of October. We've made it extremely affordable for people. And there is also a certification adjunct to the program. So for people that want to go through level 2 and they want to get certified to teach for an additional, additional fee, and for additional part of the program, you can sign up for that as well. So talking about music theory, because it's very important, and singers like Ella Fitzgerald and Sarah Vaughan were incredible singers, right? They knew exactly what note they were singing over the chord. You don't have to get that elaborate, but you do need to really understand your scales and know your scales and being able to sing them up and down. So learn the major scales and intervals for starters, then learn the chromatics, then learn the minor scales, then learn the pentatonic scales, sing them ascending and descending with a piano accompaniment and without. And once you know your scales and can sing them ascending and descending without the piano and stay on key, you have internalized that scale and can execute pitch with more ease. Okay. Number 3, developing the proper support to sing with more sound, right? So if we don't have the right support, we're going to sing flat, or we're going to over push and overblow the note and sing sharp, right? So the proper support, and I talk a lot about this, so I'm going to breeze through this part. Remember, everything is over on the blog, okay? This entire conversation is laid out for you. So the proper support starts with the good posture, with a lifted chest, with the head position, with the chin neutral, not the chin up, especially as you go for high notes. Don't tip your chin up. Keep your chin in a neutral position. And then you want to balance your head over your body, right? So you really want your head, you don't want your head forward. You want your head sitting on top of your spine, right? And then that straight spine in the back, because most people have a forward head and a slightly dropped chest. This is most people. And what happens is you're cut off from your support when you do that. Come and learn our method, and we train you in sequences that establish all of that for you. But start with just lifting your chest closer to your chin so that your support structure from your collarbones down to your pubic bones is more available to you. Okay, number 4, strain. So in order, and this has a lot to do with pitch and power, really. So we're talking pitch, power, and precision. So power, in order to sing with more power or belt, whether you are a belter or not, first you need to develop real core vocal strength. And it starts with everything that I've mentioned, and it definitely, belting without strain, it does start with this lifted chest. And you'll see in opera singers, they're always singing with a lifted chest, always. You never see an opera singer like this. You'll see contemporary singers doing stuff like this, right? But even so, even if I'm gonna, for drama, if I'm gonna lift this up, my chest is still lifted. So I can do what I want with my head, but my chest is not dropped. And that motion, when you go to belt, the tendency and hit a high note, the tendency is to lift the chin up. Does anyone know why? Why is your body doing that? I think I have a bunch of new people on here today, but people that have been with me for a while may know the answer to that have been studying the technique. Okay. When you go to hit a high note or belt, right? Generally, you're going to rely upon the neck muscles. You're going to rely upon the neck to give you that extra added support, which really should be coming from the pectoral muscles when you learn how to use the voice correctly. So when you learn how to and what happens as you belt and you grab and you crunch the back of the neck, you shorten, which means you're contracting the neck to use the neck muscles. But the neck muscles are not a solid place to belt from. They will burn your voice out and you will miss the note, and it will more, and it won't sound nearly as good. I promise you, because you think it feels more stable because you can feel that. But if you listen to the difference and watch the difference and watch really skilled singers like Andrea Bocelli, he raises his eyebrows a little bit. That's the only kind of thing he does. But he doesn't lift his chin up. Celine Dion doesn't lift her chin up because they're trained singers and they know that they're going to get much more out of that, because when you crunch the back of the neck, you're also pulling the soft palate down. You won't get that high note nearly as well. Okay. So belting correctly has a lot to do with practicing the proper positions to eliminate strain. And on a technical level, it's all about form first. And if you're serious about your voice, come and learn the cold vocal method. It is a method unlike any other. It gets incredible results very quickly and will help you build towards a world-class voice. It's not just a bunch of techniques together. It's an actual method. And you learn that in the Vocal Freedom Circle, or you can start with my Singer's Gift warm-ups, okay? So we go through all of these positions that I'm ever talking about is all within the technique, all right? So when you belt, really lift the chest up towards the chin while keeping the back flat. As I've demonstrated, my back is flat. I'm not arching my back or pushing my chest forward, right? All I'm doing is lifting my chest up towards my chin. And you might feel that in your back a little bit. And then you're going to press on your collarbone, maybe about 5 inches down. Sorry, not your collarbone. You're going to press on your chest about 5 inches down from the collarbone. And then keep that. Now exhale and don't drop the chest. Keep the chest in the exact same position. Exact same position. Try it again. Now inhale. Now exhale, don't drop the chest. Not even a little bit, not even a smidge, right? Most people, the chest will drop a little bit because it's in the habit of the breathing, which is then also what's being executed during performance, which you don't realize is you're thinking of ha, 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 instead of ha, ha. There's no dropping here. There's no lifting here, right? To be able to really execute without strain, because we're talking about belting without strain. Number 5, and get your questions ready because I'm going to open them up quickly soon. Number 5 is how to execute tone and smooth phrases with more precision, right? We're talking about pitch, power, and precision today. So precision, which is really the fine-tuning, the excellence, and in this particular case, I'm talking about phrasing. So the precision of smooth phrasing and singing all start with the development of vocal tone. So vocal tone, to develop tone, the singer needs to practice vocal technique, to practice the correct motions and movements in sequences in the right positions to make the voice work correctly, set the voice up to work correctly, to develop vocal tone. And this is what happens when you do the cold vocal method. Your tone will start to pop out. I was working with a singer yesterday who started doing the masters, which are inside the vocal freedom circle, which is the first 4 parts of the cold vocal method. And she'd been doing them 5 days a week and for a couple months. And she was like, oh my God, even my speaking voice isn't raspy anymore. Do you hear it? Right. So it's incredible, this a specific technique, because of the positions that we use. It's based in vocal science. So it starts by stripping away the compensatory or accessory muscles that surround the voice that are jumping in. Remember, I was just talking about the neck before, singers using the back of the neck. That's an accessory, compensatory muscle. It's compensating for the lack of strength and for the lack of support, correct support in the voice. And it's just jumping in and saying, I'm going to help, but it's not helping. It's tightening, it's pulling down the palate. You're not able to get that higher note, right? So it starts by stripping away the overactivity of those compensatory or accessory muscles, or maybe your jaw, you're pulling from your jaw, or whatever it is, or you're tightening here in your throat, right? Those are not the correct muscles that we want to use. So we need to isolate the vocal muscles to improve their function, which we do inside the cold vocal method. We use very specific positions that keep the accessory muscles from responding and get the core muscles to respond more. And at first it doesn't sound as good. And you practice the positions and you practice the positions, and then all of a sudden your singing voice sounds so much better and you can't believe it. The other thing that you're practicing when you're doing this specific core method in the cold vocal method, when the vocal folds are too far apart, this results in an overly breathy voice and a lack of overall control. Sometimes the singer is unaware of the breathiness in their voice because the ears are far back from the mouth. The singer mostly hears the sound inside their head and not the actual sounds being produced coming out of their mouth. That's why your voice sounds slightly different on a microphone or when you're recording or listening in headphones, where you hear all the subtleties. And we have singers, you can just cup your ear and you'll hear the difference in all those subtleties. When you cup your ear, you can hear everything. When you just, pull your ears a little bit this way, you can all of a sudden hear everything extremely well. Now, we don't want to do that when we're singing live, but when we're practicing technique, we want to do that because you will automatically make corrections in the tone and get there much faster, develop tone much faster, because until you do that, there's a certain amount of squeeze or push in the voice that is causing that breathiness, or the chords are too far apart. So raspy voices struggle with early fatigue. So fixing this issue is important for the longevity of the voice. Just like that singer I was talking about the other day, who was saying, oh my God, I've been doing the technique for a couple months and I don't even hear the raspiness in my speaking voice anymore, right? Now, if you're using if you're using rasp or something for style, that's different than in the core of your voice. You don't want it in the core of your voice because that will destroy your voice. Okay. And there's some exercises over on the blog to try. Okay. So go over to the blog and try. There's a really good exercise under number 5 there, but there's an exercise in every single one of them. So go over to the blog. The blog that comes out every Wednesday is what my topic for live stream is. So the magic I shared with you is only a small piece of how to have better pitch and power and precision. And come and join me for my latest webinar coming up on September 26th. You are not going to want to miss it. If you're serious about your voice, you're going to want to be there. And what else do I want to say? I'm going to open it up for questions now. You can't hear me? Can you guys hear me this whole time? You can hear me. Okay. That just freaked me out. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and hit the notification bell when I go live. Don't forget to join me on YouTube, right? And go look at all the past lives, or they're on the live page. Thank you. And let's open it up for questions. So who has questions? Hi, Michelle. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Kat. Good to see you guys. Okay. So anybody have any questions about better pitch, singing with better pitch, singing with better power, singing with better precision, or anything, a quick question to do with the voice that you've been wanting to ask? Go ahead and pick my brain. And then make sure you head over and sign up for that masterclass right away as soon as we're done with this call. Just sign up for it, whether you can be there or not, so you can get the replay. But if you can be there, I really recommend carving out the time in your schedule. I only do these master classes twice a year. This is my last one of the year. And they're free for you. And they're jam-packed and a full outline. And if you come live, you get the outline. So please come and join me. Any questions? Anybody struggling with anything with their voice or need help, need a little extra or a little shot in the arm? Okay, Linda, how can you deal with having to take medications for your lungs when you have to use an inhaler? Do you know what Linda, without getting too personal about what the issue is, I would work with a functional medicine doctor and a naturopath and a acupuncturist and Chinese medicine doctor. Because the problem with pharmaceutical and traditional, allopathic medication is there's heavy steroids in that. And those steroids are drying you out and causing an issue. And you might be able, over time, as you're working with someone who specializes in that area, to get off them. That would be my recommendation. But for the meanwhile, you need to steam all the time. And I would take some herbs for the lungs. If you want to share what it is, I can give you a little bit more information, or you can write in to info@Carrie Cole, and I can give you a little more information there through email, Linda. So I can help you. It's a lot of steroids, yeah. And that's just going to dry you out like crazy. And so you need to steam a lot and you need to eat. Go and look at my ultimate hydration plan, which is on, are you in VFC? Are you in the Vocal Freedom Circle? Because if you are, all of that stuff is inside the portal. You need to steam a lot, so I use a little nebulizer, just fill it with filtered water. And then, get inside that program, Linda. Oh my God, you'd be blown away. And steam quite a bit because you need the moisture, because it's just drying you. It's just like the Sahara Desert in there, right? And then you need the ultimate hydration plan, because drinking water is not the best way, only way to stay hydrated. We need water, but we need watery foods. And there's a whole plan that I have for increasing the hydration inside the body. Irina, how can I help myself? Something with my throat. I cannot speak for a few seconds. Something in the throat sometimes. So sometimes, Irina, or is it always there? Or does it sound raspy? Or is it just tight? Are you kind of choking? Or do you lose your voice? Awesome. A little bit more information. For me to really identify what that might be. And you guys can always set up like a half-hour vocal analysis with me, and I can get deeper into what is exactly happening for you. Only sometimes in raspy. Okay, raspy. So that can be coming from a lot of different things. So first of all, vocal problems are always accompanied by deep tensions inside the muscles of the voice, right? So raspiness comes from tightness. Okay. So that's number one. So anyone who has a raspy voice, anyone who has problems with hoarseness, always starts with that. So start working on decreasing that tension, and go over to the blog. There's a lot of information there. Get our singer's gift. We start you on that path to reduce tension there. Go see an acupuncturist, a massage therapist at least once a month to chip away at it. And there's a lot of tools inside my Vocal Freedom Circle. I show you massages inside the Singer's Gift. I show you vocal massages that can really help with that can start eliminating some of that tension. And it can also be caused, there are other causes, but they usually go together. It can also be caused by reflux, and singers have what's called laryngeal reflux, which you don't even know you have. You're not burping up food from your stomach, but the stomach acids are washing up because the valve to the stomach is looser in singers because their diaphragm is freer, generally speaking. And so that can cause, I mean, honestly, just a lot of tension can cause that. But if it's intermittent like that and it comes and you crack, like you go to sing a note and it cracks or something, that can be a sign of laryngeal reflux. And really what you want to do is start looking at healing the gut. There's a very good Netflix video documentary on Netflix about healing the gut. Look for it. It's the most recent one. It's fabulous. And it talks about getting more diversity in the microbiome with, maybe even vegetable powders or fruit and vegetable powders in smoothies and things like that. They did a whole study and it improved the microbiome and it improves the gut. And we have a problem with our guts today in America. And the reason we have a problem with our guts, does anyone know what it is? It's glyphosate. Glyphosate is a pesticide used in Roundup, and this has been proven. So glyphosate disrupts the microbiome. And even if you're eating organic, you have glyphosate in you. Trust me. I eat organic for 90%, 95, 99% of my meals. I mean, I eat out maybe a couple times a month, and I don't eat out that often because of that. And I was tested about a year and a half ago now, for all of my mycotoxins. And I'm very careful with my diet. I don't drink fluoridated water. I've been a health nut since the 70s. Okay. So I got tested and my glyphosate levels were medium, going right over medium towards high. And I'm very careful. So we all have glyphosate in us, even the organic farms. The wind and the water comes downstream. It's polluted everything. That I could get into a whole thing just about that. Okay. It's called mycotoxins, MYCO toxins, not mycotoxins. Mycotoxins, you can get a panel. I worked with a naturopath. I think it cost about $600, but it actually gives you all the information of all of the heavy metals and toxins that are in your body. And then you can go about getting rid of those mycotoxins, using, chelating or using certain things to get. Cilantro is very helpful. Charcoal is very helpful to bind. Charcoal will bind to it and pull it out of the body. But it's very important because we're sick. We have a health crisis in this country. Don't even get me started. I'll do a live about that soon. But thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that it was helpful for you. Come and join our Vocal Freedom Circle. You can join and go at your own pace at any time. If you write into us, we'll give you a nice discount. And I think we can give you $300 off. So write into info@Carrie Cole to get the discount on the Vocal Freedom Circle and come and join us in our Vocal Mastery Program, which is level 2. And we'll be recapping level 1 in the first 3 months. So come and get in this, guys. I only do this masterclass twice a year. This is the last masterclass of the year. And the Vocal Mastery Program goes for an entire year. Imagine an entire year working on your voice with a world-class level proven method that's used by Grammy winners and used by master singers. Come and join us. You will not believe the difference. I promise you. No question. It's not just my opinion. Go read all the testimonials. So I will see you next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for joining me today and have a wildly creative and wonderful rest of your week. See you guys soon. Bye.